Hello and welcome back to Getting Handsy. This is Bob Bosk. Today we are going to start making a spooky graveyard. First, let's start off with the fence. This is kind of the fence that would go around the graveyard. Now when I think of a graveyard fence, it's one of those wrought iron ones with the separated poles. So that's what we're going to try and mimic here with the popsicle sticks. Now I've decided to go with the half sticks for this fence. You could do the full sticks, but that makes a really tall one. I'm going to use 6 half sticks spaced out over 2 regular size sticks, and I think that should give me the appropriate amount of area in between each stick. My plan is to glue the first and last half stick onto the full sticks just to kind of lay out the overall frame that I want. After I get those done, I'm just going to eyeball the middle ones. You could be a little bit more exact if you wanted, but I don't think it needs to be perfect. Gonna get them all glued on there and then let that dry for a bit. Let's slide this out of the way a bit, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a base. I've decided to use 3 sticks for the base of this fence because I think it gives me a little bit more stability. The way I do this is a little bit messy, so it kind of leaves a bit of extra glue on there that you might just want to wipe off. Like the other piece, we're going to let this dry for a bit. When both pieces are dry or fully glued, we're going to put them together. You'll probably want something to hold up the fence so it doesn't fall over during this time. Since we've got our basic fence now, let's work on some way to get into the fence. Fenced-in area, I guess. I've decided to go with sort of some large pillars and then kind of like an arch over top, although an arch is kind of difficult. So we're going to take 3 half sticks and then just connect them with some little connector sticks, and we're going to do this 4 times to make 1 pillar. The connector sticks on the first panel I just kind of eyeballed, but these ones I decided to be a little bit more clean and make some pencil marks where they should be. Now that we've basically got the 4 done, remember that's just 1 pillar and we'll need at least 2 for this little walkway, so I'm going to make an extra batch. Once we have all of our individual sides, we're going to start connecting them at those corners. Aw, kitty break. Boop. Now, something to consider when you're putting on the next one is that the opposite sides need to be on either the inside or the outside of that other panel. So like that first one I put on the inside, so this opposite one needs to be on the inside as well. Based on that, then this last one goes on the outside of those 2. Let's let that dry and do the other one as well. Now we're going to make a little top for those 2 pillars. I'd like to think it's an arch, but it's more of like a stair-step pyramid. I'm using a full stick, a half stick, and then one that I've cut to be about 3/4 of a stick. We're just going to use my sloppy glue method to glue these together and then clean up afterwards. I'm also going to make a second one real quick. Now that our sides are done, I'm going to make a little top. It's going to be the same amount of sticks as the pillars, so 3. Once it's dry, we're going to connect that top to one of the sides. This is one of those situations where you'll probably want something to lean it up against so it stays straight. Now we're going to attach the other side to that top. Should look kind of like the beginning of a boat. With the base frame done, we're now going to attach it to the pillars. Once that's dry, we're going to start putting some sticks on the sides of the almost stairs, basically. The goal being to just start closing up that top. Going to do all of the vertical ones first, so basically the side of those steps. So now we've just got to fill in the rest of that. I've got two different methods for this. The first one is we're going to make a number of small little chunks, and we're going to glue them just like this. At this rate, it'll take 3, maybe 4 pieces to finish the whole side. So there's one of the steps done. We're going to do the other one on the same side the same way. I've got a different idea for the other side though. So for this other side, I think I'm going to try it horizontally. So the other ones I would call vertically. It had a bunch of the little small ones vertically, and this one I'm just going to do one long one horizontally. It looks like it's going to leave a little bit of a gap, but I think I'm okay with that. So now we've got the fences that go around our graveyard, and we've got an entrance to our graveyard with this little archway thing. What else do we need? How about some oversized headstones? So the first one I'm going to make, I guess I would call it a square headstone. This one is just 3 half sticks put together in, I guess, sort of a square or rectangular shape. Each one will also need a base to stand on, so I'm just going to use 2 half sticks as the base. Next one, I would call this more of a rounded topped one, although the side sticks could be a little bit closer to the original middle stick. I think this one, it's a little bit deep, I guess. This next one is pretty easy. It's just the stereotypical cross. I just used 2 half pieces and cut off a little bit of the cross bar. These are the basic 3. Now we just need to connect them to their base pieces. This is another one of those situations where I'd grab something to hold them against so they don't fall over. So there are the main 3 headstone types that I wanted to show. I did have one more that I think is kind of an interesting idea. It's a broken headstone. Basically, I just took one of the headstone types that we've just made and then broke some pieces off. We're just going to glue them together the same way we did the other headstones. Then the last thing we're going to do is actually glue together the broken pieces, because I'm going to put them on the bottom so that, you know, the broken pieces with that tombstone. So now we're just going to connect that broken piece on the bottom somewhere, just so that it's close, so that you know it's from that tombstone. Now we have a fence, an archway, sort of, and a bunch of different headstones. Seems like a pretty good start to a cemetery. I do think we are missing one big thing though, and that is some sort of mausoleum. But that will have to wait for another video, as this one's getting pretty long already. So what do you think? Besides the mausoleum, are we missing anything that belongs in a cemetery? Let me know down in the comments. One last thing, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Your interactions really help motivate me to make more videos. As always, thanks for watching.